Hello everybody, this is the Ramen King here, with the first episode of Bachelor Cuisine Reviews. And tonight, we're going to be reviewing something very special to my heart. The classic, Mr Noodles Chicken Flavor. Now guys, this is something I hold very dear and special, because this is my go-to. This is the equivalent of your mom's cooking that you grew up from childhood. Whenever I'm feeling down, having a bad day, this is the ramen we go to here. And I would like to say I'm pretty big in the instant ramen scene. So I'm gonna review it, give you my take, point out the nuances that a lot of you regular people who don't have years and years of instant ramen experience won't be able to see. So you can help make the best purchasing decision that you can. Now, as you guys may have noticed, I am currently doing the packet version of Mr. Noodles. And now I know there's a huge debate in the ramen community of to packet or to cup. And personally, I'm not heavily invested on either side. I just love instant ramen, no matter what it comes in, right? But I understand the debate, right? The packet, which is less money, 37 cents here in Canada, compared to the cup, which is 97 cents, right? So you could get two to three of these for just one cup version of the ramen. From the value side, you need to go with the packet version. But another thing that's very important to us instant ramen lovers is that is the convenience, right? And if you go with the packet version, there's a few things that you lose out on. You lose out on the ability to not waste a bowl when you're making your ramen. Because the cup, you can just pour water in, toss it in the microwave, and be done. And then no cleanup at all. The only thing you have to wash dishes for is a fork, right? So really it comes to everybody's personal preference here of what they want, right? Do they value the money side of it? In which case you gotta go packet. Or if you need the convenience, like you don't want to be doing those extra dishes, you can spend the extra money, treat yourself, and spend the 97 cents on getting the cup version of the ramen. My personal values, I need my ramen to be as cheap as possible, so we go packet. So we're gonna just make this quick. I wanna show off some of the techniques I use as well to make it before we get into the review. So as always, we're classy people here. We do a clean cut with the scissors with our ramen. There we go. So that way we can get nice clean open packet as you see here. So we put the ramen. We put the ramen into the bowl. We put the ramen into the bowl, and we get our kettle. We get our kettle water as well. And this is another issue with the bowl versus cup approach, right? Because another thing is that you have to use a kettle to get that warm water so you can put in the bowl and cook it in there. You could technically still use a microwave with a bowl, but it will, you're gonna have to start and stop repeatedly, so it doesn't boil over. So it's still some problems there. So that's another thing, right? And I perfectly understand that I don't expect everybody to have a kettle. In fact, I didn't have a kettle for, I think, like, at least a year after I moved into my house. Because, obviously on this channel, we don't support wasting money on kitchen utensils. That is just not something we do. But, so, maybe the cup option might be right for you if you do not want to waste money on a kettle. But eventually you can make that money back if you eat enough packet ramen. So we're just pouring this in here. You can use anything to boil water. Well, here's the thing. According to the values of us instant ramen eaters, I don't want people to be using the stove to boil water, because that involves using like a pot, and then you have to like wash a pot and stuff like that. The values of instant ramen is about using minimal amount of stuff to make it. That's why, like, I don't expect anybody to have any extra utensil that would be needed to make water hot, right? No, here's the thing. I fundamentally believe that that if you wasted the effort to, you know, boil water in a pot. Because that involves getting a pot, using the stove, and then having to wash the pot after, right? If you use that effort, you're fundamentally losing some of the value of eating instant ramen because of all the work that you have to do that. So that's why, you know, I don't expect anybody, if they don't have a kettle, to go the packet route. As opposed to if you just go the cup route and you can just put it in a microwave. Sometimes that convenience is worth it. The extra 60 cents you spend on convenience, that's worth it, right? Alright, so now we got our ramen in here, right? Now I'm just smushing it down here as it gets lighter here. I let my kettle water sink, so it's not exactly... Well, sit for a while, so it's not exactly breaking how I want it to. Alright, so okay, we make do. The Ramen King... He really makes sure that he, through all situations, he perseveres. Oh yes, I'm starting to... Man, and this is... Let me tell you guys. This does to get to the special point of making the ramen where your mouth starts to water in anticipation of eating it. Oh god, I love this area of making ramen when it's almost ready but not quite. And your mouth starts to water in anticipation of you just slurping it down. Oh god. There's not many great joys in life other than that. Not many greater joys in life than that. Now, like a chef, we, not sure if it's quite ready. Chef, we do a little bit of a test. Like, I like to get it, I'm not sure if you guys know of, chef-like terms, like al dente. I like to get it al dente. It's not quite there yet. I like to get it to a special level called Raj dente. Raj dente. It's a little less like, you know, crunchy than al dente. We're trying to get it Raj dente. You want to be gently caressing the noodles to break them apart, mixing it so that the water hydrates each noodle. The water's hydration penetrates each noodle. That's what you're kind of going for here. You need to make sure the levels are right. We're not beginner noodle makers here, where we don't care about hydration per noodle, like the big stats of ramen makers here. But okay, so actually, I'm gonna show you some different techniques for making the nudes. I gotta drain this first. I'm gonna drain this first, okay? I'll be right back. Now, you may have noticed that there is no current seasoning or sauce packet or anything on these noodles. I did that for a specific reason, because I wanted to show off a different from conventional way of adding the packet to the ramen. Usually, you add it to the liquid when you pour in the water from your kettle. And that was what we would call kind of the wet load, right? Wet loading the seasoning, right? But I sometimes like to do dry load, right? Dry loading the seasoning, and that's when you filter out the water, and then we add the sauce in after the fact. I feel sometimes when it's just added to the dry noodles, it has a little bit more of a kick. Or sometimes if you add it to the wet water noodles, sometimes, you know, some of that flavoring doesn't really hit the noodles as much. So let's do the dry load technique here. I like to put half of it on. Okay, we got that. We got half of it on. Then we're just gonna mix. There we go. There we go. And you'll notice that the sauce is specifically covering the noodles, so the noodles are gonna have more of a kick. And this is because I'm feeling more of a noodly day as opposed to a drinking broth day. Right? So we still have a little bit of liquid at the bottom because I didn't want to go completely dry, but, you know, I still wanted more of the noodle experience today than the wet experience. So we made a good mix there. We made a good mix. I appreciate both wet and dry ramen, right? Just today was a dry day. Our noodles are ready. Now it's time we gulp them down. Here's the review. It's an important thing. I want to cleanse my palate first. I'm just going to swish some water in my mouth. I want to make sure this is as unbiased as possible for you guys. There we go. I'm going to get rid of any excess water on my lips. Because I want this to be as scientific as possible. It's very, very important to me that the process is neutral, right? Because I'm doing this for the people, so people can make the best consumer choices on which noodles they want. Okay, there we go. Mount. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is Ramen King Raj. About to review some instant noodles. This is the Mr Noodles Chicken Flavor. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's try a few more bites. Oh, man. Oh, that is the stuff. That is the stuff. Okay, I think I have enough info for the review, but man, really, I just want another bite, so we're going for another bite. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, man. Whew. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. So, guys. What can I say about Mr. Noodles, the chicken flavor? This does hold, full disclosure, this does hold a special place in my heart. Because these are the base noodles I grew up with, and it's my go-to, right? They're available everywhere. They're always with hands reach. These are the noodle equivalent of you're going back home, and you're having your mother's cooking from what you remember as a child. It holds a special place in your heart. I'll be honest, these are quality noodles. Consider when we factor in the price of 37 cents. These are some quality noodles here, right? Of course, you know, the taste and the texture and the flavor, it's not at the level of the more premium brands like Indomie, right? And we have to accept this at the 37 price range. But the point is that you have to factor in multiple things when considering the taste of noodles. A, the taste, B, the cost, and C, the effort to make. And let me tell you guys, these Mr. Noodles, like, I want to give them a very, very high rating, but of course, these are going to be more seen as the baseline to be seen against. And I'm trying not to factor in that, you know, that home cooking feel, that childhood memory feel that these noodles invoke when they enter my mouth. But God, you can't go wrong with the Mr. Noodles Chicken Flavor. You just can't go wrong with it. It's always there for you. You have a hard day at work, open the cupboard, take out some Mr. Noodles Chicken Flavor. Only costs you 37 cents for the meal, so it's not a financial deterrent. And you just have it. You have a good time. You let your hair down. You have a good time. And you know what I really like about the Mr. Noodles is it has this nice like saltiness to it, right? You can definitely taste that with Mr. Noodles as opposed to the other brands. It has like this nice unique saltiness that you don't taste for the other brands' noodles. But overall, I think this is quality noodle. This is a good baseline for noodles, right? You know, it might not be the noodles, like, you know, if you're having like a special event, you know, you're having, you know, a date night or something like that, a kind of quality thing you want to celebrate. It's not celebratory noodles, but they are good noodles for your everyday life. Noodles to come home to. They're the equivalent of, you know, the white picket house, the nice wife or husband that you come home to. They'll always be there for you. That's what I'm trying to express. So that may not be it for everybody. So the more crazier side of people who need that intense kick of flavor, or the people who need to celebrate special events with their instant noodles, maybe the base chicken flavor isn't a go-to, but for your everyday life, I'd say always stock your pantry with them. So, Mr. Noodles Chicken Flavor. Chicken/poulet flavor. I'm gonna give I'm gonna give a 7.5 Rajas out of 10. Again, not something that's like super special, but quality, always there for you. Honestly, baseline I would give it like an 8.5 Rajas out of 10, but I gotta factor in the nostalgia that I have with this, so I'm reducing it for a point. So if you don't have that same childhood nostalgia that I have for Mr. Noodles, you may see it more as a 7.5. This has been Ramen King Raj with the first episode of Bachelor Cuisine Reviews. And as always, remember, eat quality, eat cost effective, eat low effort, eat Raj. Thanks for watching, everybody.